Trayvon Martin case is starting, and we want to explain to you the process of the trial and what to expect of the trial. The first step is jury selection. That is the most important part of a trial, because with jury selection, the lawyers get to ask questions about a person's history, whether they have different biases and experiences that will influence them in the trial, as well as, especially in this Trayvon Martin case, whether they have seen any articles or read anything about this case that will put any bias in their minds. I mean, we are well aware of the defense's attempts to put information out there before the trial that may not even be admissible in court. So this is going to be very, very crucial for both sides to see what biases each side has, which biases each juror may have, as well as any potential other issues. The next part of the trial will be, after jury selection, will be opening statements. Opening statements are when each side can give their evidence and what they expect the evidence to show. Now, they cannot comment on certain testimony that they expect because they must show that this testimony will actually be heard. The interesting thing about this case is that so much evidence has been put into the media that a lot of these jurors will know a lot about the case before they enter. So it's very important that both sides take a lot of time with the opening statements to explain different things to the jurors, just like we talked about already with jury selection. It's very important that they do a very good job with that. The next part of the trial will be direct examination. That is where the prosecution will be able to put up their witnesses for them to testify as to why they say Zimmerman is guilty. This is a very important part of the case because this is the meat of the case. This is where the prosecution must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Zimmerman is guilty. The defense has the job of cross-examining these witnesses to discredit any testimony that they may have. And that is where the defense tries to put holes in the prosecution case to show that Zimmerman may not be guilty. The next phase of the trial is where the defense can put on their case. The defense can call their own expert witnesses. They can call Zimmerman as a witness. However, Zimmerman, by law, does not have to testify in this case. However, the interesting part about this case is that it's a self-defense claim. Defendants have to put up a case as why they use self-defense. They must show that Zimmerman used justifiable force in the death of Trayvon Martin. It's going to be very interesting for Zimmerman to take the stand, and the prosecution will get to cross-examine him and discredit any testimony that he gives in this case. The final part of the trial will be closing arguments. The prosecution goes first because the prosecution has the burden of proof. They must prove that Zimmerman is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and make sure that they prove that it was not a self-defense case. The defense goes second because they will be able to summarize all the testimony, what their view of the testimony is in the most favorable light to their client, and then the prosecution goes last. Remember, the prosecution has the burden of proof. That's why the prosecution goes first, the defense goes second, then the prosecution follows up in the last part of the trial. This will be a very interesting case to watch, so please tune in to news1.com and ericguster.com for more updates as the case goes forward.